The question for which you have 3 minutes is this. When I was growing up, young people were not idle. We went to school, and after school, we were sent to a master to learn a trade. Bad behavior would have a youngster sent to the training school. Today, young people go to school, and after school, if they don't have a job, most don't. They simply are left with idle time. Bad behavior in school today causes expulsion, more idle time. Needless to say, this is a fundamental cause of the social distress our community is experiencing. Do you have any plans for returning some structure to the most vulnerable part of our society, our future, our young?
I definitely do. I was a judge for over 6.5 years, and what I saw were particularly our young men coming before me telling me, Judge, there's no reason for me to stay in school. I am not going to go to college. And these are young men who are in middle school. And they said, there's no reason. I don't have any hope for the future. Why should I stay in school? And as I go around the Virgin Islands in this campaign, I tell people our young men are in a crisis. They are in a crisis. And why do I say our young men? Because you look at the statistics. Who are really committing the crime? I saw it as a judge. Young teenage men or in their 20s. We have to turn the situation around. I'm very passionate about that. I'm a mother of 2 sons. And I see the primary way that we're going to turn it around is reintroduce the trade and technical teaching skills in our middle school. A lot of those skills have fallen to the wayside. President Obama has said we have to build a skilled workforce in order to compete globally. And I say we need to build a skilled workforce in order for our young men and women to stay in school and to build up our Virgin Islands economy. So I will reintroduce with a real vengeance the trade skills, the technical skills, and not just the plumbing and auto mechanic and electrician, but the skills for the future dealing with computer technology and the internet. You can't tell me that those young men that we see standing on the street corners with their thumbs on their cell phone do not have the ability, the skills to operate a computer and think about using their mind to build a website. I have strong confidence in our young men and our young women. I believe if we reintroduce these trade skills, keep them in school. 2 out of 3 of the dropouts in school are young men. We keep them in school. We direct them towards a future. We build on the skills in high school. We partner with the business community. I'm a small business owner. I established my own law practice from the ground up. I had no clients, but I built it very successfully. I have confidence that our business community will step up to the plate and will take our young men and our young women, hire them during the summers, hire them during the school year, be mentors to them. Why do I have such confidence? Because we need to gather together as a community. We are enduring very difficult times. Everywhere I go, people tell me, Judge, I'm hurting. I had a young man in St. Croix tell me, Judge, I'm hurting a lot. I hear you. I want to tell you my heart aches as a mother. I hear you. And I very strongly believe that reintroducing these trade and technical skills to our schools will be such a big element to keep our young men and women in school and to have trade and skills that they can use when they graduate. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And it does begin with education. Our children are so talented and we cannot afford to lose them. I agree with starting this vocational skills, a broad array of vocational skills early in the K-12 experience. But there's also an after-school need. There's also an after-school need. And we need to make sure that our community recreational centers are well-equipped and well-staffed. We need to provide the opportunity for our young people to explore their talents and enhance their talents. and do it in a serious way. We need to really invest in our young people's, in sports, in art, in music, and all of the many creative ways that they can express themselves. And then we have to create the kinds of jobs that give them hope for a future, that see the reason for them to stay in school and the relevance of education. And we also need to make that education relevant because they don't see the relevance. Make that education relevant to the community in which we live, the culture and the issues.
Thank you. Part of the fundamental issues that we have to deal with is education and how we work with our teachers. Today in the Virgin Islands, less than 30% of third graders are reading on the third grade level. That's the beginning of the problem. We have to invest in early education to ensure that our young people can in fact compete. With that statistics, we see what happens at the junior high level, we see what happens high school level with regarding dropout rates. Second and most fundamental, the government can't do it all and the private sector can't do it all. But a third sector in the Virgin Islands, a very powerful sector that we're not supporting, and that's the non-for-profit sector, where we can drive resources and help into the Boys and Girls Clubs, into the Boys and Girl Scouts, and a number of other organizations that can provide opportunities for our young people for after school to assist families and support families in driving positive activities in our communities and in with our young people.
Sometimes when you answer last, they basically say everything that you wanted to say. But there's one thing that has not been said, and I speak especially when it speaks of children and idle time. And I would speak first of children when they are suspended, as you said, or having problems in school. We have to ensure that when a child is not doing something correct, whether it is they're not in class, suspension is not the answer. We have to find a way to get that child to do what it is we need them to do. I run a after-school program for the past 12 years, and I will tell you there's another segment that has to take a big part and a big role, and that is the parents, the family, and the community itself. I remember, and I just looked to the right and I saw her. I remember when I was very young and in Doc James Talent Club, you didn't have to bring no money or any fees. You just came to that office. You couldn't wait until he finished with his patients, and you went in and you were able to dance or sing. There are different things that we can do. Thank you so much.